Hi, I'm Mike from 1A Auto. We've been selling auto parts for over 30 years. We're dedicated to delivering quality auto parts, expert customer service, fast and free shipping, all backed by our 100% satisfaction guarantee. So visit us at 1AAuto.com, your trusted source for quality auto parts.
In this video, we're going to be working with our 2006 Chrysler 300. This is a 3.5-liter V6 that we're going to show you how to remove the engine's intake on. This is all the way from the intake boot at the throttle body down under the bumper into the air baffle or silencer, also known as the air track, which is the lowest point of your air system. If you like this video, please click subscribe. We have a ton more information on this and many other vehicles. And if you ever need parts for your car, you can follow the link down in the description over to 1AAuto.com. Here are the items you'll need for this repair. Disconnect the breather hose from the engine side of your airbox. Use a flat blade screwdriver to loosen up the intake tube clamp. And remove that from the airbox lid. Pry back on the two tabs. Lift up and pull forward to remove the lid of the airbox. Remove your air filter. And this is actually a bolt that we installed because our vehicle came with an aftermarket intake on it, and we just used a 10mm bolt that I found around the shop to secure it. Yours may be different. So we'll use a 10mm socket and ratchet to remove ours. It feels like we'll need a 10mm wrench to secure the nut on the bottom. Remove your nut and bolt, lift up, and remove the bottom of the airbox. Remove the hose clamp at the top of the intake tube as well. Pull that off, and our intake air temp sensor has been glued into the connector by the previous owner. So you can disconnect your connector, or since we need this sensor for our new intake anyway, we'll simply pop it out and place it off to the side for now. Remove the 3 push-pin connectors on the inside of each wheel well at the bumper. We've removed the wheel to make it easier to show you what's going on, but this can definitely be done with the wheel still attached to the vehicle. We're going to use our trim tool from 1A Auto and pry up the center portion of the tab, then get behind the base of it and pop it out. Now our vehicle has been modified. This isn't the bumper that belongs on it, and it was also lowered substantially, so our wheel wells are in pretty rough shape. We have a lot of pins missing along with our belly pan. Using a 10mm socket, ratchet, and extension, remove the 10mm bolt securing the corner of the bumper to the fender. Normally, there would be an air dam or belly pan located here at the bottom of the bumper and reaching back under the motor. However, our vehicle was lowered substantially, and this pan has either been ripped off or removed. The fasteners go along the front of the bumper, and then there are a couple of, looks like they used to be 10mm that secure it to the subframes, as well as some of those push pin type connectors we showed you earlier in the wheel wells. Now this isn't the original bumper for this vehicle, and no one hooked up the side markers when it was installed, so you'll want to disconnect those. There'll be this little connector over here under your side marker. You'll also want to disconnect the connector on your fog lights if your vehicle is equipped. Simply lift up on these 2 tabs and then pull back. Using a trim tool, we'll remove the same 4 pushpin style connectors that we found in our wheel well, only these go along the top of the bumper. If you're performing this procedure on a Magnum, which is the station wagon, there will be 6 of these, where Chargers have 8. You can now pull the bumper straight out. and off of the vehicle. Now here we have an intake baffle and some of the ducting for the factory airbox. This 10mm screw holds it all in place, so we'll remove that with a 10mm socket and ratchet. Once that screw is out, grab the baffling at the bottom forward corner and pull forward and down to remove it from the intake. Reinstall the air track at the bottom of the vehicle, as well as the bolt at the back. Reinstall the lower portion of the airbox, and again, our vehicle was modified, so we'll need to install the bolt, washer, and nut that I found from around the shop. So again, yours will be different, but I have to tighten my airbox down with a 10mm socket, ratchet, and wrench. Reinstall your air filter and the lid of the airbox by sliding the back of the hinges in, and snapping the front into place. Reinstall the intake tube. In your vehicle, we'll just need the air temp sensor plugged in. Ours is glued on, so we have to push it back into the intake tube. Tighten down your hose clamps with a flat blade screwdriver. Reinstall your breather line. Set your bumper back on. Watch out for the headlights and the fenders. Align the top holes where these plastic pins came out, and we're just going to install them for now. Don't push the actual tab down. We're just doing this to keep it in place while we line up our sides. On either side of your bumper, you'll notice you have these slotted tabs and then this opening for your bolt. These slots are going to line up to those little rounded tabs you can see on the bottom of your fender. So slide them in and snap them on. Once you have both of the corners of your bumper set into place, go ahead and push down the middle of your plastic retaining pins to secure the top of the bumper. Reinstall your 10mm bolt in the top corner of each fender. Tighten that down with your 10mm socket and ratchet. Now there is a little bit of give to these, so if you're not happy with where the corner of your bumper is lined up, you can push it into place and hold it there while you finish tightening your bolt. Install the plastic pins in your fender liner. You should have 3 on each side. We're missing some, so I'm going to put 2 on each. Once your retainers are locked in, repeat these steps on the opposite side. Reconnect the fog light connectors on both sides and reconnect the side markers. Once again, ours aren't actually connected to anything. We're going to have to fix that later, but yours should just plug right back in. Have you close that red safety tab. After that, you'll reinstall the belly pan or air dam, which is missing from our vehicle. Yours should have these screws all the way along the front, as well as 4 in the subframe and 3 plastic pins in each wheel well.
Thanks for watching. Visit us at oneauto.com for quality auto parts, fast and free shipping, and the best customer service in the industry.